Using generic spare parts in a Juki sewing machine may seem like a quick and easy way to save money in a production process, but over time the cost of not using Juki Genuine spare parts accumulates until the initial saving is dwarfed. Let's take two identical factories using the very same Juki machines producing the same garment. Factory A is using Juki Genuine spare parts, while Factory B is using generic spare parts. Parts used in Factory A have been tested to ensure their quality and reliability. Juki ensures the shape, dimensions, materials used, and finishing of each genuine spare part meet the highest quality standards, so you know it will function as needed. The generic parts used in Factory B have not had this rigorous testing, and slight irregularities in the makeup of the spare part can drastically affect its performance. The use of cheaper materials and processes to make the parts can result in the incorrect shape or finishing, which when used in the machine will result in poor sewing. If a Juki Genuine hook costs Factory A 40 euros and the generic hook costs Factory B 5 euros, that is an immediate saving of 35 euros. Or is it? Because of the difference in materials used to create the generic part, its durability is significantly reduced, meaning it needs to be replaced more often than the genuine Juki hook. A genuine hook has a durability of 12 months, whereas a generic hook under the same use will only last for 6 months. If both factories have 30 Juki machines, it means Factory A spends €1,200 a year on hooks, and Factory B spends €300. It appears we're still saving €900 per year using generic parts, but let's break this down further. If it takes 57.6 seconds to produce one t-shirt, we can say that a factory is able to make 500 pieces per day. When using a generic hook, it is far more likely to cause thread breakage due to incorrect shape or finish of the part. If a thread breakage costs the production time only 1.156 seconds, that increases the production time per piece to 58.752 seconds. Let's assume that thread breakage occurs one time per 10 minutes. Overall, this seems like a very tiny slowdown in production, but over the course of the entire day, it means a 2% loss in production and a total output of 490 pieces. Just a 2% drop in production due to the use of generic parts can have a large knock-on effect for any business. Many factories are looking at the short-term savings gleaned from the initial purchase. Remember that €900 from earlier? But don't take long-term costs into account. If the processing fee for one t-shirt is €1, then Factory B is actually losing €10 per day due to its generic hooks. Over a year, that is €2,800 lost due to a drop in production. If we add back in the savings Factory B initially made, we can see that in the long run it is more expensive to use generic parts instead of genuine. As well as the drop in productivity, there are other, less tangible effects from using generic parts. Poorer sewing will result in a lower quality garment produced by the factory and will in turn affect the factory's quality rank in the eyes of their customers. A lower quality rank over time will mean processing costs may need to be reduced. Let's say after a year of Factory B consistently producing poor quality t-shirts, their customers will no longer pay €1 per piece, and now Factory B can only get 95 cents. Using the same output as the first year, we see that their turnover has dropped to €130,340. That's a total loss of €9,660 as a result of generic parts, and only a saving of €900. In the end, the immediate effect of using generic spare parts instead of Juki Genuine ones might not be obvious, but even small differences in the spare parts quality can lead to a large long-term impact for your company's bottom line and its reputation.